Marfori! How you doing? Feeling good? Drinking on a Tuesday? I sound like I've been drinking. I sound like I'm drunk, I'm not. I speak like this because I have cerebral palsy. If you don't know what that means, it means I'm the only member of my family who's an Olympian. Yeah, I got a silver medal. All right, no one gives a shit. It's not a big deal. I lost to a blind kid in archery. But he's Native American, they're good at that shit. And come on, Indians, bows and arrows. You guys don't like Thanksgiving? Some of you look kind of freaked out. I want you to know I'm gonna be disabled all night long. I'm sorry, unless you have a cure or a leprechaun, we're all in trouble, so laugh it up, haha. I'm the only one offended. I get a lot of stupid questions, like one time this lady comes up to me, she's like, "Are you one of them slow people?" I'm like, "Yes." "Oh, I feel so sorry for you." Like I hear it the same rate that I talk. Or people ask me what's wrong with me. Have you ever had a stranger ask you what's wrong with you? There's a lot of shit to choose from. What's wrong with me? I get a burning sensation when I pee. I think the next person asks me what's wrong with me, it's like, "What, you got a problem with cerebral palsy?" Man, I'll kick your ass. Show up your house, all my slow friends in our little bus. We'll kick the shit out of you, dude. We're hardcore. We're the original Crips. Yeah, but we don't have a gang sign because our fingers don't work. Suicide. See, they say West Side, we say. You guys have a lot of gangs here in Sarasota? Yeah. AARP. Man, they get you early. They've been sending me shit since I was 42. I'm from Washington, D.C. We got a big gang there. It's called the federal government. Yeah, we need to build a wall around that shit. And when you're from D.C., you have to know about the government. Like I found out recently, we signed a bill to help give senior citizens a discount on their medication. Isn't this a good idea? Hell yeah, you work 40 years and retire, you should get all the drugs you want. That's right, bingo's a lot more fun if you're stoned. Come on, B420. All right, couple potheads. Drugs are always in the news. They invent new drugs all the time. There's a new drug now called Sextasy. Has anyone here done Sextasy? It's a mixture of Viagra and ecstasy. Not a good idea. Someone's gonna lose an eye. I think of it my own drugs. So with money and drugs, my drugs are a mixture of aspirin and crack. I call it ass crack. Now you wouldn't sniff it. Because that doesn't sound cool at all. What'd you do last night? Well, we sniffed some ass crack. It was the shit. People do a lot of drugs. I think mostly because they're fun. Maybe it's because we have low self-esteem. Self-esteem's important to us. That's why we care about how good we look. But look around, everybody. Most of us are neither ugly or beautiful. We're kind of in the middle. It's all a matter of sobriety. You're kind of cute. We'll have another fireball. And we even have things that make us more beautiful, like glamour shots. Have you ever been to glamour shots? That's like Make-A-Wish for ugly people. Like, if you're really ugly, don't hang out pictures of you looking better. That'll confuse your house guests. You're like, when was the accident? But we love beautiful people, don't we? Like, our celebrities are all beautiful. I don't know if you know this, but back in the day, we used to have ugly celebrities. People used to be famous because they were talented. It was awesome. Like, remember Janis Joplin? Yeah, she was a little ugly. But when she sang, you wanted to fuck her. That's called talent, ha ha! Take that, Katy Perry. Who else was always in the news? Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt because they had sex. No kidding, two most beautiful people on earth, they should have sex. That's not news. It'd be news if Brad Pitt was banging the Slurpee girl at 7-Eleven. That'd be news because I've done that. I'd be like, yeah. I got Brad Pitt game. And let's be honest, every guy there, married or whatnot, if you chance to hook up with Angelina Jolie and your wife and then find out you guys to do it, right, fellas? All right, one dumbass. Everyone else is like, oh, we're trying to have a nice night out. And all you ladies, you'd hook up with Brad Pitt, right, ladies? No, shoot, I'd hook up with Brad Pitt. Imagine that, your girlfriend breaks up with you, she's like, I subbed your friend Frank, I fucked Brad Pitt. Frank works at Home Depot. I win. And that's what relationships are about, right? Winning? You guys are like, no, relationships are about losing. Losing your freedom of speech and your Saturday afternoons and your right to choose dessert. Relationships are all about surrender. That's why they call it French kissing. All right, some of us graduated from high school. We got single ladies in the house for my single women. All right, can I give you some dating advice? I got some great dating advice. You should date me. That's right, it's a good time and you can write it off on your taxes. I'm like a down payment on a Kia. Guys, I'm very self-deprecating. I don't know if you noticed this, I'm very self-deprecating. People from Georgia think that means I shit my pants. Like, this guy deprecates all day long. That's why we don't believe in evolution, honey. I think it's great people don't believe in evolution. You ever ask someone why? They always say the same thing. I ain't come for no monkey. I didn't come for no monkey. But it's so cool that you can believe in what part of science you want to. You don't have to research on a Bunsen burner or read. Just make up your own ideas. Like nowadays, I'm late and people are mad at me and they're like, dude, where you been? And I'm like, hey man, I don't believe in time. Jesus never wore a watch. Oh, come on, you can laugh at that joke. You're like, I'm not laughing at that joke, I'm not going to hell. I'm gonna pull out later, but I'm not laughing at that joke. I've been told I was going to hell. Like one night this lady yelled at me, she's like, you're going to hell. I'm like, I got CP, I got get out of jail free card. Sorry, ma'am, I'm the meek. See, that's a funny joke if you read the Bible. I meet lots of interesting women who comedy. Man, this one girl, she comes up to me, she's like, hi, I'm Tracy. I have multiple personality disorder. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of pressure. I never fucked 4 girls at the same time. She get all excited, scream my name well. I'll be like, Tracy, Tina, Lisa, Steve. And don't judge me, man, Steve's hot. Someone's got to fix my brakes. All right, that was kind of gay. I'm not gay. You ever had that day though where you sat around and thought whether you're gay or not? No, just me. Okay. I'm the only one on TikTok. I thought, what if I was gay? My dad's Filipino, so I mean, like Filipino, disabled, and gay. Damn, that's a lot of paperwork. I'd be the biggest minority in the world. I would get every scholarship. Didn't mean for any gay people. We got lesbians in the house and lesbians. All right, must be softball season. We can't go to the show, we got practice. I met a lesbian once, she told me she was a lesbian and a vegetarian. I was impressed. Talk about dedication, no meat for her. Is anyone a vegetarian? Does anyone do anything in that son of a bitch? I dated a vegetarian. She's very outspoken, militant. She would tell me what to do. She'd be like, don't eat that, meat and murder. That sandwich used to be alive. Be like, what about your salad? It used to be alive. Photosynthesis. What about all the cucumbers we murder? Seriously, people eat baby carrots right in front of you. That's messed up, it's a baby carrot. All right, too edgy, too edgy. I'm actually recently single. Me and my girlfriend broke up for the same reason everyone breaks up. I'm an asshole and she's crazy. My one girlfriend broke up with me because they couldn't find her G-spot. So I looked on MapQuest. Yeah, they can't find it either. It's like, come on, MapQuest, you said this is gonna take 20 minutes. My wrist is getting tired. Recalculating. Don't go down that road, it's a toll road. I'm making you laugh like one table at a time, you know? It's like we're playing comedy telephone. Ha ha ha, pass it on. Well, it's a good night to drink and drive, don't you think? It's amazing to me that people still drink and drive. You thought after all the marketing and education and knowledge, like people would know better. They know if you don't have friends to drive you, don't go out drinking. Okay, that's usually when people clap. I guess you guys are pro drink and driving around here. You're like, we love the Kennedys. Wow, too soon? But it appears to me, no matter what we do, people are doing this anyways to protect ourselves. I think every highway should have like a drinking and driving lane. That's right, be like the bowling alley, have the big bumpers on the side. Every 5 minutes there's a place to pee. Every 10 minutes a Waffle House, hell yeah! I'd vote for that, Proposition .08. We could call it Hunter Biden Highway. All right. I guess I can't do that joke anymore, all right? Guys, I'm a stand-up comedian if you did not know. Some of you look kind of skeptical. I have a weird job in the sense that people don't believe I have a disability. They think it's an act or a character I've invented. Like I have that level of commitment. After a show, guys will come up to me, try to get the truth out of me. One time this guy came up to me, he's like, dude, you're too smart to be retarded. I was like, wow, you're not. Yeah, point of my show is I'm not much different, you guys. We all have things in common, but there are some differences. Like the biggest difference is when I get pulled over by the police, I'm going to jail. I get a DUI every damn time. Walk in a straight line, why didn't you ask me to fly? Cops was like, Mr. Marfori, you've been drinking tonight? You sound like you've been drinking. I'm like, no, sir, I have disability. I speak like this all the time. He's like, really, son? Can you prove that? No. Can't prove it. Have CP's on like Costco. You don't get a card. Member since 1976. It's got like a picture of me playing catch. Hey, that's not funny. No, you can laugh. It's okay. It's a comedy show. I just think everything's funny, man. I like the news. The news is hilarious last year. My favorite story was when they found cocaine in the White House. Remember that? Know why? Because that's the first time ever anyone's ever found cocaine. Have you ever lost your cocaine at a party? Went back to see if someone found it? You come on back, you're like, hey, did anyone find any cocaine around here? I don't think so. Both sides are crazy. There was a story of a Republican Congress lady, she got kicked out of a play. She got kicked out of Beetlejuice because she was vaping and someone grabbed her boobie. Yeah, I once got kicked out of the vagina monologue for lip syncing. But you well, it's a good thing I don't really want to be a famous comedian. I want to be a famous rapper. I want to be the first disabled rapper. You know how the Jay-Z, I'd be lazy. He'd big pimpin', I'm big limpin'. No, imagine though being like super famous. Imagine being like Justin Bieber famous and changing the world with your music. What did Justin Bieber know about love? He's never been kicked in the nuts. He's never dropped his kids off at a rest area. All right, I'm the only one going through custody battles. Actually, all made famous is Albert Einstein. You guys know who Albert Einstein is? He's the guy who invented the bagel, him and his brother. Now, Albert Einstein figured out how the universe works, right? He figured out that space and time are woven together, energy and matter are interrelated. And while he was doing all this great discovering, his wife divorced him because he didn't have enough time at home. Which I think says a lot about marriage, you know? It's no matter what you're working on, your wife's shit is more important. I just would have loved to see that argument, you know, like Albert, where you been at, Albert? What you been doing, Albert? Or, sorry, honey, I've been at the office working on the universe. It's a really big project. You got big projects around here, Albert. That trash ain't gonna take out itself, Albert. I'm sorry, honey. I forgot the trash. We're working on black holes. They're really consuming. What you been doing? I've been doing lots of stuff, Albert. I've been scrapbooking. I remodeled the bathroom, Albert. You weren't here to help me pick out tile. You don't love me. You should be more like Amber's husband. Amber's husband's home every night at 5 o'clock. That man loves his family. Amber's husband buries horses for a living, hon. Can't do that when it gets dark out. You think you're so smart. I'm no Einstein, baby. So tell me, Albert, what have you figured out about this so-called universe of yours? What you figured out? We figured out a lot of things, but the first thing we figured out was it doesn't revolve around you. That was really stupid. Because then when he won the Nobel Prize, he had to give all the money to his ex-wife. Because that's how the universe works. All right. I have a feeling some of us don't know who Albert Einstein is. I feel like a comedy Alexa. Do you guys have an Alexa? Anyone have you have an Alexa? What do you use your Alexa for, sir? Play music? That's cool. Anyone else? What do you use your Alexa for? Grocery list? You don't have paper? Anything else? Set alarms. Oh, I don't have a clock. Now people use Alexa for everything. I didn't like the idea because I thought I was putting a listening device inside my house. Turns out that's true. There's a big scandal on the news. Apparently the Alexa people been listening to people have sex all the time. Yeah, and when I found that out, that made me want to get an Alexa. Because now every night I'm just talking dirty, Alexa. I'm like, you got a pretty mouth, Alexa. That's a wet-ass processor, Alexa. But now, after about a month of this, every night my Alexa has a headache. Come on, that is such a boomer joke. Girls don't get headaches anymore. They just go fuck your friends. Okay, I guess I'm the only one who's in the dating pool. I'm a dad, everybody. How about that? I got 2 little boys. I'm divorced. My kids are funny about it, though. The other day, we're driving down the road, and my oldest, Malcolm, he sees a field of cows. And he goes, oh, cows, I love cows. Milk comes from their penis. I'm like, no, buddy, milk doesn't come from their penis. He's like, where's the milk come from? I'm like, just somewhere else. And the little one's like, mommy doesn't have a penis. I'm like, yeah, right, dude, mommy doesn't have a penis. What does mommy have? And the oldest one's like, mommy's got a house. Yeah, those are some funny sons of a bitches, man. You can't get in trouble being hilarious in this apartment. Go play on the balcony. But now I'm a young man. I'm not old. I'm 48 years old. I guess it's like mid-age, right? But I went on a date the other day with a 23-year-old girl. Yeah. Are you clapping for the girl part? And she slid into my DMs. That's how the kids do it now. They don't ask you out. They slide into your DMs and you ignore them or you take them up. And she asked me to go have drinks. That was her DM. You want to go have drinks? I was like, oh, I could do that. I could go have drinks. So we go to a bar. I get a beer. She gets a water. I get another beer. She gets an iced tea. She looks at me. She's like, what, you going to just drink all night? I'm like, yeah, that's what the fuck we're doing. We're going to get drinks. If we went skiing, you wouldn't be like, what, you just gonna go downhill all day? So I screwed up because I'm not postmodern, right? And I didn't realize that going to get drinks didn't involve drinking. So I was like, all right, I'll just tell you about my life. And she's like, yeah, tell me about your life. And I was like, I'm going through a divorce, I got kids, I got a dad who's dying. And she goes, wow, you got a lot of problems. I go, no, I'm 48 years old. I got a 48-year-old amount of problems. You're 23. All you got to do is go to class and not get pregnant, and you're a winner. She didn't laugh at that either. So I asked her, what kind of guys are you into? And this is the thing, I'm not making this up. It sounds crazy. But she's like, I like 6'6". I like a guy who's 6 feet tall, 6 figures a year, and has a 6-inch penis. 6'6". I was like, wow, you literally want the devil. How about 5 foot 6'6". But you tried. We'll go back to making fun of me. All right. You guys having a good time? All right. Me too. I've been watching these Viagra commercials. You guys watch the Viagra commercials? Have you ever noticed the women in the Viagra commercials are women you don't need Viagra for? You're like, just keep building that fence. We'll have sex when you're free. I like Viagra commercials, not because I need Viagra. In fact, I need anti-Viagra. Ooh, it's windy today. But Viagra's got the new thing. It's a Viagra Visa card. That makes it up. Viagra will finance you. That's why we have no credit in economy. We finance everything, apparently, including our erections. I'll pay you on Thursday for a boner today. And they have the deal. You use your Viagra card to buy your prescriptions, and every 7th prescription you get for free. I think they stole this idea. You know from where? Subway. Remember Subway? You fill up the card, you get a free 6 inches. All right, all the guys are laughing, all the girls are hungry. I need to double my meat. We're so obsessed with that. I get an email every day. It's like, do you want to get bigger? I'm like, how the hell did you know that? Damn you, WikiLeaks. It doesn't matter how big it is, baby, as long as it gets from me to you, right? All right, I take that as a no. Like, we even have sayings. Like, it's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. That's right. Well, sometimes it's the size of the ocean. You ever try to cross the Atlantic in a canoe? Doesn't matter how good you row. The sea is angry. And that's what Life of Pi is about. You know Life of Pi, and you're in a boat with a wet hairy cat who's all pissed off. All right, you guys don't like metaphors. Does anyone have any questions? I'm having a good time. I recently got fired from a cruise line the other day. By the way, I didn't tell a joke about this, but I'm Filipino. My dad's Filipino. Any Asian people in the house? Any Asians? You're like, this is Sarasota, dumbass. We don't even have Asian people in our Chinese restaurants. Those guys are Mexican. So I'm Filipino, and I have a joke about I grew up in Washington, D.C., and we're Filipino, and then we moved to Maine, and we became Chinese. And every day I got beat up for being a Chinese person. They're like, fuck you, Ching Chong. I'm like, no, flip-flop. I gotta be the only person in the world that got beat up for being Chinese and then 30 years later got fired by Chinese people for telling this story. My dad's so excited. He's like, I'm finally American. I'm finally American. I raised a racist. Any other racists in the house? Any other? No, just me and Elon? So I felt bad because I felt really bad. I've been a victim of racism. I've never been a racist. So I asked the cruise line, I was like, hey, can I apologize to Chinese people? And they weren't Chinese Americans, they were people from China. And the lady was like, nah, you can't do that because they don't speak English. Dude, that's hilarious. I offended people that didn't understand the words I was saying. So I did some research. I found out they don't have a lot of stand-up comedy in China because they don't have the First Amendment. Like in China, you're not allowed to Google the image of Winnie the Pooh because I think that image makes fun of their president. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine if we could Google shit that made fun of the president? There'd be no reason for the internet. Guys, you gotta start laughing. If you don't start laughing, I'll be telling jokes on the Greyhound bus next week. I was actually an Olympian. People get mad at that joke. They're like, oh, that's messed up. You would make fun of that. But I was in the Special Olympics. And I love the Olympics. I love the real Olympics, too. I love when Olympians get caught smoking weed. Like, remember that when Michael Phelps got caught smoking weed? That pissed a lot of people off. I was on a plane when that happened. Lady next to me was so mad. I was like, why are you so mad? She goes, I don't know. It's just so sad. Now he'll never amount to nothing. I'm like, he's got 18 gold medals. He can never do anything ever again. And he's pretty much better than us. We're flying Southwest. Stop being so judgmental, Group C. And I feel bad for that story. I feel bad for the guy who gave Michael Phelps a bong hit, because Michael Phelps can hold his breath for like 7 minutes. All right, I should have just done drug jokes the whole time. I realized where I was. I'm very happy to be here, man. I grew up in a show business family. My dad is a musician. And when I was a kid, me and my brother would go on the road and perform in shows. Me and my brother and sister would performing in shows. Every night we do 3 songs. We do Under the Boardwalk, Lean on Me, and 3 Little Birds. And the place would go crazy. It's way more fun than this right here. Hey, it was a different time. People are on less medication, more in touch with their feelings. They smiled when they weren't doing this. So we did this every summer, and after a couple of summers, I got a lot older. So one summer, my dad sat me down, and he's like, hey, buddy, we gotta let you go. And that's the first time I ever got fired in show business. Until I ran into the Chinese people. Come to find out, he's Asian too, so apparently, my own people turned me in. But we always traveled in a van. Like back then, he had a big old brown Chevy cargo van, because back then musicians had vans because they had things called instruments and a band. So we'd always be hanging out in his van, and people bring us water and food. It sounds like child abuse, but really awesome. So later on in life, I got a TV show, so I had to fly out to LA to do the TV show. And the network would put me up at the Beverly Hills Hilton, which is a very fancy hotel. And my dad called me up. He's like, hey, you need a ride to a hotel? I was like, nah, I think they got a limo. He's like, nah, it'd be my honor. So I was like, okay. So it shows up at the airport, and it's the same brown Chevy cargo van that we used to spend our summers in. So we're pulling up to the Beverly Hills Hilton. And that day happened to be Fox's Media Day, and when the network has a media day, they promote all the new shows and they have all the paparazzi. It was this parade of beautiful vehicles like limousines, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and one brown Chevy cargo van. And you thought I'd be embarrassed, but I learned a great lesson that day. It doesn't matter how far you get in life, you're always the kid you started out as. I just want, my dad passed away about 10 days ago, so I just want to dedicate that to him. He's the only reason. I'm not trying to bum you out. I'm just saying I want to dedicate that to him because he really was a big influence on me. He threw me on stage. And I'm still fucking up here. Yeah, so he's a good man. R.I.P. Ramon Marfori. You go download his music on YouTube. It's awesome. So, before I go, as I bum out the show at the end of the comedy show, I'm just kidding. I will get out here. I've had lots of jobs in the world. I have a computer science degree. I used to build weapons for the government. Yeah, probably why we lost the war. And I quit doing that. I became a life coach. Not a life coach, an oceanographer. Yeah. I'm an oceanographer, but I didn't want to spend my life on a boat, so now I work on cruise ships. Fuck. But I do like science. I'm very interested in cloning people. I'd like to find out how good I could have been at football. Okay, let's explain that one. Cerebral palsy is not genetic, so if I clone myself, my clone won't have it, and I think he could be like a Division III punter or some shit. And I think eventually we're going to clone people. There's a lot of good uses. You could cure diseases, you could replicate organs, you could replace your children. Do your homework or you're fucking out of here. The next one's just as cute. We won't even have to get no school pictures. So I think eventually we're going to clone people. So I have a great idea for business. I want to sell people their clones. If they're really narcissistic, they can hook up with their clone. And I have a great name for the store. It's called Go Fuck Yourself. Yeah, our spokesperson's going to be Caitlyn Jenner. Oh, come on, guys. The math works on that one. I'm just kidding. I love Caitlyn Jenner. He's a nice lady. That joke got me in trouble one night. A trans lady came up to me after a show. She was very angry. She's like, I can't believe you made fun of Caitlyn Jenner. You don't know what it's like to live in a body that doesn't work the way you want it to. Touche. Hey, you guys were a lot of fun. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
One more time, let him hear Will Martin.